Welcome back to a special edition of NMRAx. You would not believe what happened. Speed discovered he's modeling in the wrong gauge. So with us here today is Speed at the bottom of the hillock. Brad Anderson is hiding down under upside down. He's streaming it all out. And with us are the people from the National Narrow Gauge Convention, the 45th version up in St. Louis, coming up October 3 to 6 of this wonderful place. So with us here today is Charles Proudfoot, Steve Hollenbach, and Richard Rance. Take it away.
Hi, everybody. Mark your calendars for September 3rd through 6th. That is the 45th National Narrow Gauge Convention in St. Louis. It's actually being held at the Gateway Collinsville Convention Center in Collinsville, Illinois. That's right across the river from St. Louis. And it's a huge facility, something like 35,000 square feet. It's going to be filled with vendors, modular layouts. We've got outside the convention hall, we've got incredible guided tours laid out and ready to go for everybody. We've got 25 home layouts on tour this year. And check it all out at www.45th, you got to have the TH in there, nngc.com. Join us in September. This is it's going to be a fantastic show. We're lining it up to have basically everything that can be there is there.
And on to Richard Rance. Next slide, please.
I'm handling the vendors at the trade show. We have over 67 vendors attending, over 200 tables sold. These include not only narrow gauge manufacturers, but over 14 manufacturers who make building and structure kits in N, HO, SO, and large scale. We have a number of detail parts manufacturers, white metal and 3D printing. We have microengineering going to be there with the line of flex tracks, several tool companies, 3 scenery manufacturers, and several engine repair and VC installers. So if you're not a narrow gauge, but would like to attend, and there's plenty for everybody here at this show. So
Next slide.
Got a surprise for you.
Oh, and there's my lovely boss running the show at the RPM meet. This is in the convention hall. And the Collinsville is a suburb of St. Louis, just across the river in Illinois. It's pretty close to all the layout. When you go on the layout tours in the afternoon, everything shuts down. We're going to be open Monday. We're open mornings and evenings in the vendor hall, and then the afternoons are safe for visiting layouts and on the various tours that we have.
Next slide. And clinics. We've got 60 plus clinics lined up, all sorts of things. We've got Gary Hoover, a well-known HO modeler, and he's done 6 layouts, and he's going to give a clinic on all the things he's learned, like paint, scenery, weathering, electrical, signals, all that kind of stuff, and just talks about how he gets it so prototypical looking. He is a professional photographer, and his pictures are just fantastic. I've got a layout picture of him, of his layout later, I'll tell you more about. Painting with pan pastels. And this is done with, that was my phone going off, sorry. Participants will be given a chance to try their hand working with pan pastels, so you can actually get hands-on experience. How about circus trains? How the Ringling Brothers moved their circus trains in the 20s. 1,000 people, 500 horses, 190 backlot wagons, and 14 trains. Jerry Severson is doing a clinic on how all that worked and using the route book for the circus as well as research data. Unique and interesting clinic. Next generation of model railroaders, clinic given looking at who's going to follow us in this hobby and how are they going to treat the hobby differently or maybe the same as we have. A really interesting and thought-provoking clinic.
Let's do a slide.
Oh, another slide. Yeah, there we go. And Dan Rapp, eBay selling, how to monetize your collection. Reasons for selling or downsizing a collection, many ways it can be accomplished. Conversation about estate sales and planning. That says something about our non-rail group. They're having an estate planner in their clinic there we go. As well. And Dan Rapp, eBay selling, how to monetize your collection. Reasons for selling or downsizing.
Okay, modular layouts. We're getting a little feedback there. We have 7 modular layouts that are going to be in the convention hall set up with their portable layouts. Here's one of my favorites. I happen to be a member of the Mud Hens. And if you look above the skyboards on this layout, you'll see historic photos in black and white. And what we've sought to do is recreate those scenes in miniature. So in HON3, we have a very large layout set up, and we welcome the public to come and operate. Next slide, please. And not just the public. This was at the Kansas City Narrow Gauge Convention about 8 years ago, and I think young Matthew there has graduated high school already, but he picked up a throttle and started running, and that's all there is to it. And right now he's operating a Rio Grande Southern train across our Uray module. And as I said, if you're interested in finding out more about the narrow gauge and you think maybe this is for you, you want to come and run a train or two, join us. It's worth it. And not only for the modular layouts, but for the modeling itself, just the detail involved. This is from the Springfield ON30 group, a couple of guys from Springfield, Illinois. And if you look at the details on this, not just the scenery in the background, but the trees, the detail of the water tanks, the guys that are loading lumber, it's really well done on a small scale. Next slide, please. The Great Lakes HON30 modular group. Narrow gauge is more than just 3-foot wide tracks. It's a wide variety of narrow tracks, anything less than 4 feet 8 inches. And the Great Lakes HON30 modular group models the 2-foot trains of Maine. The state of Maine had a lot of 2-footers. Next slide, please. And of course, what would the state of Maine be without harvesting ice in the wintertime? One of the guys did just an excellent little scene here where there's a pond and they're saw cutting the ice and loading it onto wagons. Next scene, please. And of course, lobster boat with lobster traps. You want those Maine lobsters. But the detail on this harbor scene is great. Individual stones, all the piles driven in the wharf. We've got individual planking on the buildings. So when it comes to the clinics, they'll teach you how to use it. And then when you see the vendors, you'll know what to buy. And then when you see the modular layouts, you'll know how to apply it. So it's all a learning experience. Next slide, please. Just a few more modular layouts. Now this is the smallest one. This is Crow's Nest Tramway, an ON30 layout. Basically a quarry inside what looks like a box. It's a display case that this guy built that is just incredibly well done. And it all folds up and fits in the back of his car. Next slide, please. This one is, that trestle you see is the butterfly trestle on the Rio Grande Southern. This is an HON3 layout from the Ophir Loop Confederacy. And in the background, you see the beginnings and how they actually build these modules, and that is the Ames siding. And it's all going to come together, and they assure me it's going to be more finished when they bring it to the convention. They also have a very large layout they're bringing to the convention. Next slide, please. And over to you, Chuck.
And layout tours. This is Chuck Graham's DNRG 4th Division. This is a multi-level layout. The upper level, well, the bottom level and the upper level are narrow gauge, but the bottom level is the Alamosa Yard, which is all 3-rail. And so he models late enough that there are actually some diesels in his standard gauge yard. This layout, it was going to be on tour and well done. Next slide. This is Jerry and Pat, I think it's Pat, Sue McCormick. That's right. There is the I'm sorry, the San Juan Extension. This is a picture of the Durango yard. You can see the Durango roundhouse off to the side, and the station in center background. He's done a great job. He also has part of the RGS from Dolores to Vance Junction, and one of the features.
Ophir Loop in the background.
Oh yeah, there is Ophir Loop in the background.
Oh no, that's Vance Junction. Sorry.
Well,
they all look alike.
The one of the interesting, actually, if you just go into his layout room, there's a great big trestle right as you come into the room, which was one of the first corners of the Mud Hens layout, and we made it so heavy we couldn't move it. So Jerry just took it over and incorporated it into his layout. So that's the San Juan Extension. Next slide. Loon Lake Navigation. Pete Smith. This is a freelance Pacific Northwest Railroad, Railroad has a wharf scene as well as other things. It's been published, I think, in the Craftsman as well as other publications. So, and then on to his buddy, John Kalin. Next slide. John Kalin is a SN3 modeler, and he has RGS from Pandora Mine to Telluride to Vance Junction, has Ophir and Lizard Head as well in the fall of 1942. John is a trestle builder. He has built full-sized replicas of all the trestles on these sections of the RGS, and they're just a beauty to behold. This is just one of them. Next slide. I mentioned Gary Hoover as a professional photographer. This is his current layout on the Norfolk and Western, I'll get it right. Being a photographer, all that smoke, this is an HO scale layout, but the smoke is actually painted cotton balls, and he shakes them as he takes the picture to get realistic smoke. But look at the detail on this layout as well. Another one that you just have to see. Next slide. This one's fun. This is Ken Kroshowitz, Ken 10 Hobby Shop. This is a hobby shop with a layout. It's a layout with a hobby shop attached. This layout is open every Thursday for people to run. He gets a lot of young kids in to help and learn about model rarity. This will be available not only on tour, but also to operate on Thursday. And lastly, next slide. Brad Joseph, HO modeler, UP Wyoming Division. This is through the Wasatch, Sherman Hill to Laramie. And that's a picture, I think, of the, which canyon is it?
Wasatch Canyon.
Wasatch Canyon, that's right.
Yeah. And it's his sandstone bluffs are really well done with a small sprinkling of snow on them.
All right, and next slide.
Okay, I took some photos from past conventions because it's hard to take photos of a future convention. But this is the contest winner for cabooses from the Narrow Gauge Convention in Pasadena, California. And this is the kind of modeling you'll see, the high quality. The caboose not only has lanterns on it, it's got a full interior. It's all painted, it's detailed with people, just really well done. Next slide, please. And don't be shy about entering your model in a contest. I did one time, and I had my water tank there, and because so few other models were there, I got best in show. But best in show up in Tacoma was taken by a model I can't even approach, and that is the bait shop on the left-hand side of your screen right now. Not just the fishing boat and the little motor boat next to it, but look at the clear resin casting underneath it. This guy did all of the starfish, the crabs, everything underwater that you wouldn't normally see. He chose to model all that. Even a license plate I saw in there at one point in time. Now this won best in show, and it should have, because it is just one detail after another. You could look at this model for half an hour and not see it all.
And it's 1 square foot.
It's in 1 square foot, cast in resin, and it's entirely lit. The interior of the boats and the bait shop are all fully detailed. It's just incredibly well done. Now, getting to a more recent convention on the right-hand side, this is the structures winner from the Pittsburgh convention last year. And it's a water tank scene with a hand car on one side, a pop car on the other side. The little stretch of track there is hand laid with spikes. Every little detail from the stone to the planks in the water tank and the roof, it's all well done. If you look at the bald figure on the top of the platform, you can even see the plaid shirt. His paint job on his figures was amazing. This is definitely a winner. Next slide, please. And we get on to some bigger models. Not so much narrow gauge, but we like all trains. This is Live Steam, the Wabash, Frisco, and Pacific Live Steam Railroad out in West County in the St. Louis area will be open on Saturday, and you can ride the train. And here we see a rare photo. They're getting ready to run a triple header here, and all the steam you see is not faked cotton balls, it's real. These locomotives are real locomotives with real boilers and real steam pressure running them, and they even sound real. If you're really into live steam or not, I'm going just because I want to see it. It is something. These things actually operate and they've got some pull to them. So next slide, please.
And we're on to prototype tours. We have 5 or 6. We featured 4 here. The first one in the upper left corner is Amstead Rail. Amstead Rail is a foundry. They build rail cars, they do wheel sets, they do castings, axles, bearings, brake systems, everything. And this tour will tour the foundry from the creating the molds to pouring the molten steel, heavy crane movements under actual working conditions. They do ask that you fill out a form in advance to make sure that you are prepared to go in. They ask you to bring any safety equipment you have, like steel-toed shoes, earplugs, eye protection, hard hat, etc. They will have some available. Go to the website. You have to sign up in advance for this one, and they send you a checklist.
5 seats are still available.
There's still 5 seats as of right now. Okay.
And this is an actual working foundry. You're going to be on the floor where they're doing the casting. It gets very personal here. Yeah, right. So this is an amazing tour. I wish I didn't have another thing going on at the same time. I'd be there.
And then across on the top is Gateway Rail Services. They do heavy overhaul repairs for passenger equipment, vintage passenger equipment, usually for private owners, as well as excursion service operators. They do special side jobs for major railroads. My understanding is mostly with their business trains, and that's where they've really specialized in that. One of the things that he has done is he has 140 old rail cars, passenger cars, back into the 20s even. And part of this tour is you'll be given an hour to roam the yard there and take pictures of whatever you want to take pictures of. So not only a tour of the shops and what they're doing right now in restoration, but also a chance to really get some history. And the bottom left is Metro East Industries. This is a newer business. It's been around about 30 years, but they do contract work. They rail car and locomotive repair, maintenance, Class 1 railroads as well as regionals. Their facilities cover 115 acres. That's how much volume business they have. And last but not least, Continental Fabricators. They do boilers. This one happens to be for Mid-Continent Railway Museum that was done earlier. We don't know exactly what they'll be working on this time when we're there, but they do pressure vessels of all kinds. Matter of fact, they did 1 or 2 of the boilers for the WF&P. I don't know whether they're the ones you saw in the picture earlier, but those they do small boilers as well. They've also done major work on the T1 rebuild, and they're still working with pressure vessels. So those are just some of the layout tours. Next slide. And that about wraps it up.
When you see that all aboard 507, that's an old number. We've got a lot more people already signed up, and from what I understand, 9 more people signed up for the convention yesterday. So do sign up. It's going to be a great convention. We're going to have, of course, the guided tours, the Wabash, Frisco, and Pacific. We don't have a slide of it right now, but if you tune in to the Off the Beaten Track tomorrow night, you'll see a slide of the Miss Augusta River Cruise. It's one of the non-rail things we've got going on that's very popular. 26 people have signed up for that, and we still have 14 seats to go on that one. Um, there's a lot of spouse activities going on. The St. Louis area, I grew up there. I live in Arizona now, I know, but I grew up in St. Louis, and there is too many great restaurants to list here. Um, they've got an area called Soulard Market. They've got an area called the Hill for Italian food. There's just a lot going on in St. Louis. One of the best botanical gardens you'll ever see. One of the best zoos in the country. If you want to go see the Bears, and if you're really into baseball, I'll bet there's a Cardinals game that day. I don't know who they're playing. I'll have to check. But that's St. Louis. Meet me in St. Louis, where the narrow gauge conventions all began. Thank you.
And see our website.
You guys have some time for questions?
And see our website, www.45thNNGC.com. Thanks, everyone.
You have time for questions? No questions?
No questions, huh?
No, no, no. Do you have time for questions?
Yeah, we've got.
Yeah,
We'll try and answer them.
we're here.
Okay, it's not narrow gauge, but it's important. Isn't there a big boy in St. Louis?
Yes, National Museum of Transport, for which you have a discounted, if you register, you have a discounted admission to that venue. Yes, there is a big boy there.
What's the number?
Oh,
Good question.
that's a good question.
I think it's 4013.
4014.
40,
I think. I think they say they visited there all.
Okay, it was one of the ones that particular big boy. I was still living in St. Louis years ago, and I asked them how much it would take to restore it, and they said it's one of the candidates for restoration. The
Cool.
one from California was chosen, but it's nice to come in second, I guess.
How do I get to the convention from the airport?
Ah, that's a good question. And you would fly into Lambert Field, and there is not a shuttle, but there is taxi service. Just tell them you want to go to the Gateway Convention Center. It's about a 20-minute ride.
And the convention is actually in
Collinsville, Illinois.
It's the Collins Gateway Convention Center, Collinsville, Illinois. There's also Mid America Airport, which doubles as Scott Air Force Base, and some flights land there, and it's a much closer flight or a much closer ride to get to the convention from there.
any rail service that can get me there?
Ah, yes. No, well,
I don't think all the way there, but the Metro Rail does cross the river and goes into Illinois. And I have not checked on which stop is the closest one to Collinsville.
There are two Illinois supported trains, the Abraham Lincoln and the other one. And as well as that's also, no. So there are three Amtrak trains out of Chicago that serve St. Louis.
Cool.
And one out of Kansas City.
Yeah, one.
Then you had a photo of a layout that was kind of in a box.
Yes.
Yes, it's the Crow's Nest Tramway. It's a little tiny ON30 layout of a small quarry.
So it looks like you can move the points by flicking some switches on the side. I saw some
Yes,
LEDs.
it's fully operational.
Cool.
I saw it in Pittsburgh. It was quite nice. It's one of the reasons I invited him to join us.
Are there any operating sessions scheduled for the convention?
Yes. We have operating sessions. You'll see them on the website. I think 5 home layouts have offered operating sessions.
And most of them are on Tuesday before the convention actually starts, but the website gives you directions about how to sign up for slots for those. Okay. One of those is also an open house on Tuesday, so there will be operating as well, and that's Dean Smith's in Rolla, Missouri, which is what, about
hour and a half southwest.
Yeah. Just a note on that layout quickly. If you ever plan on going there, you need some time. That's not the kind of layout where you escape within 15 minutes.
No, no,
No.
it's not.
No,
You-
you need to do it on the Tuesday just before the convention, or on, I think he's open on the Sunday after the convention.
He's giving 2 or 3 clinics at the convention. One we're all scared to death about because it's a fantasy clinic, and he's
Not about.
asked for us to be in period clothes.
Yeah,
So we don't know what's going to happen.
so who knows? But that's
I
deep.
got this. I got the story about the mice, and that's scary by itself.
Yeah. The Mud Hens also offer operating sessions. We usually have a few operating sessions during conventions, and we don't have a ton of room for like 15 people to operate or anything. Narrow gauge is not like operating standard gauge. It's, single track main line, and you might be running 3 or 4 trains at a time. So we will offer operating sessions in the course of the convention while the convention's going on.
Cool, cool. So, do you know how many layouts are on the layout tours?
25.
25.
Wow. Okay. Then you mentioned something about a contest room, which I myself know nothing about. So, how does that work? Do
It's a
you
little
submit it
different.
early? You pick it up at the end? You
Yeah,
fill in some
well,
paperwork? Are they
what you have
judges?
to do,
Merit points?
Right.
you have to bring your model and put your model in the contest room and enter the contest. And it is not scored like NMRA points. This is, we're an NMRA partner, but on the other hand, the model contest is judged by your peers, by all the voters there at the convention. So Wednesday morning, you drop off your model. The room is very tight access. We have guards at the door, so to speak. And Randy Myers is running the contest. It's going to be placed in one of 17 different categories, including photography. We have several photography categories. And when you put your model in the model contest, excuse me, during the convention, people will get a timetable, and you open your timetable and you're going to have a voting ballot in there. And what you do is you go through the contest room, and for each of the categories, you vote who you think the best was. That goes in the ballot box, and it's a simple matter of whoever gets the most votes wins. Now, there are still some prizes that are going to be given out by several manufacturers, and that includes things like best of show, things like that, what the manufacturers judge to be the finest model in the contest room.
Yep.
So, and then after the convention, Saturday morning, everybody picks their models up and takes them home. Saturday evening is the closing ceremony where we have the prizes awarded. And I'm very proud to have hit second place for the Mud Hens layout. Chuck here has had, you got
Second place.
second place for individual module. And our club has many award winners in it. And the kind of modeling we showed in the photographs doesn't do it justice. You have to really go through the contest room and look at these amazing models. The scratch building effort that goes into these is just astounding. So, yes, we have
So,
an excellent model contest.
can people only bring narrow gauge models?
It could be anything.
It can be, it's usually narrow gauge, but I've seen standard gauge stuff entered and place.
Yeah. And the structures, things like structures, my favorite train, the photographs, they're not adhering to any specific scale.
Right.
So yes, you definitely bring something to put in the model contest.
Because I was going to ask about how do you know the post office is narrow gauge? Is the door smaller?
Yeah. The photos, there are 4 categories. There's prototype and model, and it could be a model of anything, and color and black and white. So there are 4 categories in that. I'm actually entering one in prototype color.
Okay, so when do you pick your models up again?
Saturday morning.
Saturday morning, the models get picked up.
Okay. And at Saturday night, there's a banquet or a dinner or something?
Well, it's
not a banquet. It's open bar.
Okay.
Basically, what we have is everybody starts gathering together. We move all the vendors out during the day Saturday while everybody's out on the layout tour. And I'm kind of the floor manager. I'll be overseeing loading in and loading out. And we kick everybody out, and hopefully by 6 everybody's out of there.
By 4.
By 4, and then we rearrange the room so that it's theater seating. We got 2 great big screens, and we put all the photos of all the models on display up there. And they start
Cool.
out like third place winner is, second place winner is, and you get a really nice plaque, and you shake your hand, get your picture taken, and then you got bragging rights.
Okay, one question from the audience. Any hotels in the area? Do they have special rates? How do we know about these?
Again, the website will have a hotel reservations tab. I can tell you the special rates are all gone.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
there are at least 7 hotels. And last I checked, there were still some rooms available. There's another set of hotels, the next exit down. There are 5 there as well. So
Yeah.
should be able to get housing.
We were competing with an event at a nearby NASCAR track.
Okay.
So
Is
they
this on
filled
an
up that-
interstate or just a road out of St. Louis?
Interstate. Which one?
You know-
Interstate 64.
64.
64. Do we know the exit number?
Oh, thank you, Speed.
Oh, hold on. I've got that here.
We'll vamp. Any other questions?
Yeah, so question.
Oh, I-70 and near 64 and 235. All those highways come together there. It's actually off of 5570,
Okay.
and it's not telling me an exit number. Great.
General area.
Okay.
So just
The easiest exit is going to be off of 255, about a half mile north of I-70.
mile north of I-70. Okay, so what is the most prevalent scale at this convention?
That's a really interesting question. It's
I'd say HON3 and ON3 are tied. There's a growing presence of SN3. The models in SN3 tend to be a little more expensive, but what you're going to find there is the scratch building is kind of a higher par there.
most of that's one little bias. It's very hard for an in-scale contest model to win.
Yeah.
Because half the guys who model in O scale and F scale can't see it. There was a beautiful K36 one year with a in scale, fully detailed cab interior with all of the valve knobs painted red, and it didn't win.
Wow.
I'm going, that's because half the group couldn't see it.
You needed to bring your Optivisor to look at it.
So you're suggesting that I should hold off on me making this whole double track helix narrow gauge?
You probably should hold off for a year or two.
We're
Okay.
going to see what's going on.
Last question. Where's the next convention?
After this, next year is going to be Minneapolis. It's actually a suburb of Minneapolis, isn't it?
Yeah, it's they're calling it Minneapolis.
Minneapolis area, Minneapolis-St. Paul area.
Cool.
And it is in September. Matter of fact,
we've got a list of them. The one after that, I believe, is Hickory, North Carolina. Am I right, Chuck?
Yeah.
After that, Denver, Colorado. After that, Nashville, Tennessee.
Wow. Denver had a chance a year or two ago, right?
Yes.
2 years ago. Yep.
And last year was?
Pittsburgh.
Last year was Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Cool.
Not to be confused with Pittsburgh, Kansas, which is substantially smaller.
Yeah, the next year's convention is September 2 through 5, 2026.
Oh, close to the same date.
Yeah, and that website will go live on September 6th of this year.
Cool.
And so you can start signing up then. I can't show you. Well, I guess I could. This is what their ad looks like.
You'll see it advertised in all the popular publications, I think.
Cool.
Yeah.
So are you guys bringing models?
I am bringing a couple, but I have the feeling that I'm going to be so busy that I'm not going to be participating in running trains very much.
They couldn't hold your first prize plaque in the background for you?
Yeah, right.
No,
The module that I won on is not going to be in this year's show. I have one other module in the Mud Hens show this year.
we do have 2 award winners showing up, though.
Right, there are two modules that won individual awards are going to be in this year's layout. One of the things about the Mud Hens is we have so many modules; it's almost impossible. We've been at this 40 years, and
Oh,
it's almost impossible to get all of them in one place.
We had them all in Denver.
Not all of them.
I think so.
There were 4 of mine that weren't there.
Okay. We had almost all of them in Denver,
How dare you?
including one that came in a backpack on a BMW motorcycle all the way from Florida. And the guy he was sitting on the floor. This is Jim Alden. He spent close to 3 hours piecing it together. He set it all up, and it was a viable module, and we operated trains across it.
Wow.
He said, "I'm not taking it home. Who wants the buildings?"
I bought the mine. Anyway, he sold off the trestle, the mine, a bunch of trees. He gave some of the stuff away, and I think Dean got the track off of it.
Yeah.
Hey, it's one way to pay for gas going to a convention is bring a module.
Right.
Well, you got to recoup your investment somehow.
Yes. Well, gentlemen, that brings us to the end of tonight's show. Thank you very, very much.
Well, and thank you for thinking about doing this.
Thanks for having us. I really appreciate it. And
No worries.
if all goes well, we'll have another little surge of 11 or 12 more people signing up tonight.
Cool. So the next NMRAx event will be August 30th. We are shy one more clinic. If there's anybody willing to present anything about model trains, just contact us at nmrax@nmra.org or find the the Pacific District Director or the IT manager on the NMRA's website, and you'll get a hold of me or Brad. So thank you very much. Hope you guys have a fun time and see you in St. Louis.
Sounds good. Good night, everybody.